The following podcast may be explicit. One Joe Young presents Adventures from the Shed, a tabletop RPG podcast. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com.
And here we are, Adventures from the Shed. We're going to be continuing Jason's game, where he's going to be leading us through the Erridan Empire further and further. Jason, why don't you kick us off?
I will kick us off here. It's good to be back. I had to spend the last winter period here plotting how I was going to kill this group of adventurers. That was pretty much all I did. I had to take a extended leave to do all of that. But let's get everyone introduced and let's get into it here. So I forget who goes first now that we have our screen all changed. I think it's Chris usually who kicks us off.
I guess I'll go first. This is Chris. I'm playing Ophidian, the Yuan-Ti pureblood, who's still waiting on a message from his Yuan-Ti masters.
The masters.
It's been months.
Months from the masters. Speaking of masters, I play Eli. I'm not Chris's master. I work for my own master. We're playing Raze, College of Whispers bard, who seems to have a penchant for murdering people that are important to us.
And speaking of people important to us, Rolex is still a little sad about the murder of the one person that seemed interested in him. I'm Joe. I'm playing Rolex, the Warforged Artificer, currently 2 levels behind, which I will attempt to fix while other people talk.
He was that sad that he decided not to level up while he was...
I de-leveled.
He de-leveled because of sadness. Oh, no.
Did you say he C-leveled? What?
De-leveled. Or C-leveled. He just stayed. He stayed at the very bottom.
Yeah. Speaking of someone who made Season D's mostly, hi, it's Randy, and I play Les, the male tabaxi fighter.
Hey, all right.
And,
well, let's.
I'm ready to go.
Let's do a quick recap here. I want to hear Les's notes on the recap here from the last game, since he probably knows more about it than I do at this moment.
Let's see. Les and Rolex headed for the train station. Raze went back to the something Pearl and saw a group of cloaked figures leave the back room. One had a Wintersmere sword hidden, headed to the back. Ophidian messaged Annette about what's been going on, made his way to a massive building down 4 flights of stairs where an orc is in front of a double doors. I was drunk when I wrote this. Entered a dimly lit gambling house, saw a tabaxi named Mr. Buttons, an investor in the corner in a top hat. Saw a dancing woman named Julie, a private escort for Jean-Luc Picard. I didn't really catch his real name, but that's what
Jean-Luc Picard. Good job.
A Goliath named Richter, who is running security. He talked to Mr. Buttons, found out he was down 100 gold, had a little bet on a dice game, rolled a 6 and lost. Ophidian tried the game master to suggest him that Mr. Buttons is all paid up. Got a 2 and somehow succeeded. Asked Mr. Buttons about the drow. Mr. Buttons wanted a bribe. He paid 6 gold. Was looking into Picard's past. Dude had old money from Delicon family and was used to deal with the other old clans. He thinks it's family money. Said Jean-Luc wasn't happy about Mr. Buttons digging. Les and Rolex had made it to the station. There were lots of people, so instead of just sitting down in the heavy traffic, Les took him to a more isolated area. Les asked Rolex about the book. He found a page about a mechanical arm, and it described how it was forged. He had another flashback about when he was first built, crushing an apple while people are happy at what he's doing. Les went to get food. Rolex has a flashback of going to the underground city. Les bought some fishy unnamed fish, but it smelled delicious. Rolex wanted to stay and read the book, so Les continued to walk around listening to the crowd. Saw the same 3 people that Raze noticed. Ophidian talked to Julie. She was happy with Jean-Luc, but he was looking for a girl of higher stature than her. He says Jun has a mark on her butt cheek that a certain family member from a certain clan has on them. Heads back to Mr. Buttons, who gives Ophidian a document with details of 10,000 gold coins with Meta clan's symbol on them. Next day, the party meet up and decide where to go. Decided on the cathedral, and Rolex now knows how to get into the underground city. Never mind, we are going to the estate via the underground.
Yes, and the reason why you guys are going to the estate of the underground is because Rolex just had the flashbacks of the secret underground entrance that was at the actual.
Told you I took notes.
Entrance. So yeah, so it was very, very good. All right, well,
pretty concise notes.
Not bad.
Why can't my players be that good?
That's pretty good.
So that is where we pick back up here. The group is, you guys have had your long rest. You guys are fully recovered. And again, you are set to make your way out to try to uncover what is going on in this underground part of the city that has been long since forgotten. This underground kingdom that used to rival the cities that were above it, that has seemingly disappeared, just like so many other of the families and the nobles and things like that. Just like the cycle of the city constantly just brings people up to power, cuts them down, and then continues to churn. It is early morning. You guys are hitting the streets here outside of the districts. It is bustling. There is that always pervasive smell of just like body and like sweat and like food vendors and stalls and things like that are just permeating all the time because of the crowd and the amount of people here. Even at this early hour in the morning, it is busy. There are carts and wagons that are like stuck in traffic as people are passing back and forth. The city itself is bustling and alive. What do you guys want to do?
I think, I mean, for Rolex's purposes, I think we're just headed towards the entrance to the underground that's at the edge of the estate at the forest, which is off to the northeast, I think it is. Okay.
Is everyone in
I'd like to check for if I have any messages from my people, first, if I can.
So messages from your people, yes, you actually would here, and actually it's probably going to come to you as you are traveling, because it does take a little bit of time here, but since you guys are going to be moving there, we'll just go ahead and say you get it right here now. What was the last thing that you said to them here? I'm going to pull up my notes real quick here.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one if I can remember that.
Question, right? Sure, it was something important.
I mean, it would have been everything I told.
It was just like, "What's up? How's it going? Just hanging out in the city. How are you?" Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Yep. So from what it looks like here, it looks like you sent them over what had happened and that you were going into the underground. As far as what it was, I believe that's what the message was, according to my shorthand notes here. Does that sound...
Yeah, I would have gave him the update, all the information I got about the Pachars and then Phineas and all that stuff, and see if I need to let things play out or make a mess of things. You know what I mean?
Okay. I'm gonna type in what the response is, because I had the responses here, and so I'm gonna type that into here, and then you can decide if you want to share that with the group or not.
All right, nice stuff.
Chris isn't much for sharing, so you just send it to everybody.
Ophidian is the biggest sharer.
I actually have a lot,
Yeah, we
He's been surprisingly forthcoming with information.
Because I'm all about just keeping the party going, man. I'm not about world domination.
At least not as
I work for people that are about world domination.
Right.
I have my fingers in a lot of pies. Why should I be the only one that gets a taste?
That's right.
So for one of the things that I had, at least as far as Rolex's changelog goes, the information from last time was the Z-letter Drow clans were underground. Now, one thing I don't remember about that, Jason, is that was in the past, right? And this is just, we think this is a remnant of the Z-letter Drow clans that are messing with us now.
So from what you remember, from what you learn, these people were wiped out. Gone. The city was destroyed by other noble families. They came down in force, wiped out the Underdark, basically. But they're potentially still here. They're potentially still alive. They're potentially that person that was inside the actual quarantine zone, the one that nearly killed you guys when you discovered what was going on in there. Could have that kind of lineage. So yes, absolutely. You're right on, spot on.
Cool. All right. Yeah, I just wanted to remember that because my notes were nowhere near as thorough as Drunk Randy's notes.
Maybe that's it. Maybe Drunk Randy just needs to be more drunk for next.
Right?
Well, somebody's got to do something in this party. So.
Did you get your note, Chris?
Other than kill
negative,
allies.
I have not gotten my note.
Jason's still typing then?
Where you put it? In StreamYard or Roll20?
I sent it to you. I sent it to you in Messenger.
All right, there we go. There it is.
Okay. All right. So, Raise, Les, anything that you guys want to do or say before we kick things off? It is about a 4.5-day journey to the Hightown area where the entrance to this thing was, because again, the city is monstrous. It's an absolute mega city. There are ways to travel that can cut down your time. There is the rail, which you guys have ridden a few times here. That would cut down maybe 2 days in total travel time, but it would cost money to take that there as well. But it's up to you guys as far as how you want to travel.
Does anybody remember if we're in any kind of time crunch? Because I know things have been happening around us, like the whole burning of the docks, killing of people's best friends, all that kind of thing.
Yeah, and Phineas is going to be at the power plant within 2 days. Is that 1 day now, Jason? Is that 1 day now? From this
No. It was going to be 2 days as we picked up the next game, so it's 2 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we have that. Phineas will mention though. Word on the street is that this ancient city is rumored to be active, so we might run into some resistance. Or, maybe not. Maybe they'll be friends with us.
I like friends. Perhaps we were never there.
I like the way you think, Rolex.
I agree. Let's. I'm ready to go. You guys want to take a train or walk?
I'll take a train.
Ray is wanting to take the train. That's a shock, right? I think it's the first train ride Ray's has taken, maybe in his life.
I think he's the richest character now because everybody else took the train when he walked.
Yep.
Aren't you Mr. Frugal?
I guess he can buy everybody a ticket then.
There you
Well,
go.
it depends on what class of comfort you want to travel in.
Less.
It would be a two-day journey down to the area that you need to get to. Again, you can travel high class, you can travel in style, or you can travel in very, very cramped conditions, no real kind of like beds or things to lay down on. You'll have several other people who are there in these, because again, you're not taking the regular rail that you took before, which had just nice carriages. These are sleeper cars that actually will go long distances here. So there is, the economy, there is second class, there's first class kind of accommodation. So as you guys make your way to the train station here, and you guys are seeing this massive machine kind of roll in, steam hissing out from the massive wheels, and you guys kind of get hit with that heat as it pulls in here. You can see opulent kind of living spaces in these first class carriages as they roll past you. You can see there are several people who are well dressed, who are looking through very beautiful ornate windows that look like they have tinting on them that they can adjust to let the right type of light in here. You can see through the windows as they're going by, there are people with like carts bringing in different desserts, dishes, and drinks. As it passes by, you see that there is the second class accommodations. Nice, clean, efficient kind of living quarters here, their own kind of beds and things like that are attached to the wall. It looks like 2 people per room. And then that's the bulk of this particular carriage. And then it gets to the very back where you have people who are basically riding on top of the trains. There are some like makeshift like seats that are welded onto the very top.
That's not a good idea.
Yeah. You see that they're welded in such a way that again they can pass by things, but it's you're gonna have to be on your toes to be up there. And then of course there is you can see there really is no privacy in these other carts here. It's just they have like benches, they have things that are like kind of attached to the sides of the walls here. People kind of clamor in and just get what they can as far as space, and that is what they have. So how do you guys want to travel?
Hey Les, I heard they got a cow catcher up front. You can just sit on that, and man, it's a good view. Kind of windy though.
We would take the Lebo accommodations.
I'll pass, thanks.
How much is the high end?
The high end would be 75 gold per person.
Good God.
Yeah.
That's too rich for even my.
It is
Your blood.
But again, it's D&D. You guys might be able to do things to get those kind of accommodations if you want to.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
Actually have 115 gold, but no.
Yeah,
Same.
I can't even afford it now. I've just spent so much of my money. I can't afford that. Where's my stipend? I'm not getting paid.
How much is second class?
Second class would be 40 gold per person.
Yeah, that's still pretty rough.
How much?
It's a 2-day journey. It's a 2-day.
I can afford that, but it sucks. Let's see if I can Who do I need to talk to get a discount?
There. Well, again, make a perception check. Let's see if you can find somebody that you can maybe.
All right. Now, where
find.
should I roll? Can I roll in D&D Beyond? We'll kick it over here. It should, right?
Yeah, as long as you do the
Yeah,
red
that's the thing.
key
Yeah,
thing.
this would be the first roll back. Let's see if it shows up.
All right. So
I'll be
perception.
right back.
Yeah, perception or investigation, either one, whatever you prefer.
Yeah. Geez, that's a tough one. Okay. Why isn't it not? It's like there. Oh, did it get it?
Why isn't it not?
Well,
Oh, there
There
we
it
go.
is.
I see it.
something happened. I heard something.
A 13. Okay. So with a 13, it's a little too busy and a little too jostly around here for you to kind of notice of anybody like that you know for a fact. Hey, I know this person. They're high level people and they might be able to get a discount. You do see that there are a few train officials though. You don't know them personally here, and they're just kind of wandering around up and down the actual side of here, making sure that no one's like getting pushed into the actual train because of how crowded and how packed it is. The closest one to you looks to be a older individual. He's got a long kind of like thick mustache that comes down almost in the chop style, and he's kind of like pushing back some of the people. All right, you lot, hold on. We're going to let everyone board in just a second. Make sure you have your boarding passes here. You see him. That'd be the closest person you can see that would have the authority probably to get you a discount, but unfortunately is not a contact that you would know with a 13 that you would be able to go to.
I'll try to see if I can. I'll give him some money and try to like grease his palm with some money, but I also will cast suggestion at the same time. Like, this is enough for me to get in here, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. I don't think suggestion is a save, though. Correct? I think it just happens, or is it a save? I could be thinking of something else here. Let me just double check.
Yeah, let's see.
I think there should be a suggestion.
So wisdom save, yeah.
Wisdom save. Yes, wisdom save. All right. Okay, let's see here. First roll of the night for myself, and that is a. So what do you suggest to him? Because he
I suggest the amount of money I'm giving him is enough to let me be in the high end quarters, even though it's not enough.
How much do you give him?
I will give him. Let's see. I'll give him 30 gold.
Okay, so with 30 gold, you approach him and how do you give it? Are you like slick as far as how you hand him the coin here?
Oh yeah. I'm kind of like, hey, nice to like kind of shake his hand, both hands.
As you shake his hands, he kind of takes it, he palms it real quick, and he looks at you and he goes, "Yes, you're a VIP. I remember you. Yes. Please, this way." He pulls out of his pocket and he kind of like goes through like a little a notepad and he signs something off here and he pulls it off and he goes, "Don't forget your ticket, good sir."
Oh, thank you.
He hands it over to you. So yeah, I would say that worked. Yeah, you definitely get your way inside. The rest of you, what do you want to do?
I am going to find. I don't want to like find a secluded place, but more of a place too busy for people to notice, and I will cast Disguise Self to make myself look like a train official.
Make me a.
I'm about to get a new job, boys.
Make me a perception check just to see if you can, or an investigation check to see if you can determine where the safest place would be to change.
Investigation. Ooh, wow. Okay.
Did you roll a 1?
I rolled a 1 and I got an 11.
That's how it works, man.
Yep. As you make your way around, you're noticing all the people who are in front of you, and you're kind of like backing yourself against the wall, and you slide across some of these. They have like stalls, and they have like vendor bathrooms and things like that, public toilets and stuff. You slide your way, and you just kind of peel your way to a door, and you just kind of slide into it. And as you slide into it, you just immediately you're casting Disguise Self, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, you cast Disguise Self, and all of a sudden you look like the train conductor. And as you and you turn around, you can see there are several other train conductors inside of this room. You've kind of like fell into the employees only section, and they're watching you as you walk in, and they're just like, and they start. You can see that there's two of them in there, and they're gonna panic, and they're gonna start pointing at you as they see you just change yourself. What do you want to do?
I know what I can do.
He stabs them.
Yeah, I was gonna say he just murders them all. They must have fell on their swords.
Right in the chest.
I'm not going to stab them.
Yes. They have to be sleeping.
Oh, no,
Randy, it sounds like you're shuffling marbles.
I'm sorry? Yeah, I'm digging through paper trying to find My notes on this. I don't even know how much gold I have right now.
At a glance, are any of them elves?
No. One of them, one of them. They look like they're younger. They look like they're actual train attendants. There's one that is most likely human. The other one could be potentially a dwarf because he's just really, or it could just be really young and short. But that would be who you find. None of them are elves, though, unfortunately. But they do see you, and they are looking at each other as they see you change over your appearance, and they go, oh, get the guards, get the guards. There's some.
Okay.
Because again, the trains have been attacked recently that you guys were a part of. They are a
bit of a
heightened.
risky move here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the race card. I'm going to drop the spell and quickly be like, guys, look, wait, it's me, and I'm just gonna throw out a name, James.
Bond.
Yeah, it's me, James Bond. I know I was hired recently. I just look at me and I'll take the hood off, show I'm a tiefling. This isn't a face people trust. I needed to use this spell to keep my job, and that's the line I'm going with.
Make a persuasion or deception check, please.
Okay, well, they're the same roll. Let's go deception.
Trombone again.
14.
14. With a 14, they look at each other and then they look at you, and you can see that they're like,
my job.
James Bond? I don't remember seeing a James Bond on the roster. Neither do I. I mean, Joey might have forgot to, update us, correct? He might have. You guys kind of.
He normally works on the MI6 line.
Again, true, he does. You can see that they're confused enough. You rolled just enough to where they don't know. You don't know if they believe you or buy it, but they are not yelling for the guards anymore.
I know I should have come clean with this earlier. I was just worried of what you guys would think. With all the attacks going on recently, I got scared.
As you say this to them here again, another person walks through the doors. You can see like you're in like this area where they get ready and they come out here, and somebody comes in. It looks to be more official, and they comes in and goes, all right, you lot, who the hell is this? And the two guys go, this is Mr. Bond here, James Bond, and he's apparently new here, but he's it was a little weird, sir. And he looks and he goes, James Bond. He pulls out like a pamphlet and he starts going through and he goes, James Bond. He goes, I don't believe I've seen you. And he looks at you and goes, I think I would have remembered you here coming in. Who hired you?
Can I do a history check to remember either a notable train official or one who would be directly responsible for hiring?
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay. History. All right, there we go. That one's pretty good. Oh, whoops. The first one.
20.
Oh, hey, the first one.
The first one. Okay, yeah, the first one definitely is very good. So yeah, enough about you. Even though you don't necessarily, as a character, use the train a lot, you do have.
It's important to know important people.
Exactly. The person who's ridden the train the least knows the most about the train. So
I know this city like the back of my hand. That's why I live the way I do.
That's right. I love it. It's D&D. I love it. I mean, I've missed this. Okay. So yeah, you know that there's a man, one of the most famous conductors, somebody who piloted the very first train, who again has completed different crossings and paths of this stuff here with great speed and is highly respected and has now taken a position of managing and overseeing things here. Asen Heidel is the person's name, and enough about this individual. He is human, a little bit older, but he is known for his bombastic personality and his love for speed. So you would know that person. That would be the highest level person that you would know.
It was Mr. Heidel, sir. I had an interview no more than a week ago, and like I'm trying to like play up the nervousness here. Like, oh God, did I do something wrong?
Okay.
When hiring, he told me that it would be good to learn a disguise spell so people don't get scared at my face.
Okay.
And at this point, like my skin's flushing, so like it's like it looks like there's like fire under my skin now.
Make me a deception check or persuasion check with advantage, please.
Okay. How do I do that with the? Yeah, I'll
Just roll
roll
twice. Just roll twice.
13.
Okay, so that was a 6 plus 7, I believe. Yeah, or I'm sorry, a 7 plus a 6 on there. So as this happens, he goes, I didn't know that Asen was taking on people again. This is very, very peculiar. Well, if you wouldn't mind, we'll keep you here. I'll reach out to Mr. Heidel in just a moment. I'll see if I can get him over our radios. And we'll see if we can come back and verify that you are who you say you are. If you wouldn't mind just waiting here. And he turns to leave the door and walk forward. So it seems like you've done enough to confuse them enough, but they don't buy it with, unfortunately, a 13.
Yep. All I need is confusion.
Yep. So and as the other two are mumbling to each other. He knows Asen. Mr. Bond knows somebody very powerful. That's great. I mean, how is that? Again, they're just kind of chatting with each other here.
Pull out a little handkerchief, wipe the sweat off my brow.
Yeah. But the other individual seems to have walked away and left. So what do you want to do? You're in a room alone with these two. They don't seem to be as concerned of who you are anymore. Just more confused with what you've done. And they're just talking to each other. I mean, are you going to leave or are you going
to? The problem is, if I leave now, they're going to be like, "Wait a second, he was just told to stay here."
It's up to you. I just want to know what you want to do.
I'm gonna wait it out here for about 5 minutes, and if I don't hear anything back in those 5 minutes, I want to like kind of slip off into the corner and go back into my disguise and just kind of start doing like theater exercises, vocal exercises. Just try to get back into character. Quote unquote.
Okay. Rolex, what are you doing here? You see Ophidian wander off and seemingly being escorted by this train official being escorted over to the VIP carts, the first class carriage. You see Ray's character just disappear off into the back room somewhere. You're not sure what happened to him, but you assume that everything goes well for him. What do you want to do?
Taking some of the cues of what they're doing and doing the opposite, I would take Rolex will take Dogaga and just head towards the wooden pallet and straw section of the train and go find a seat. How much does it cost to board in that area?
10 gold for a 2-day trip.
10 gold. Yeah, I'm going to be real low key about this one, so much shorter description of what he's doing. Just going to go there, pay them the 10 gold. And
Yeah, Dogaga is getting a lot of attention from like a lot of the kids, the families that are there. Some of the kids are like trying to get on Dog's back and stuff like that to try to ride him around and things.
Yep, and he definitely has no problems with that.
Yeah, and as you pay for your ticket here, you're given a ticket for you and Dog for the back class of the thing. Now, again, as you enter into these carriages here, are you just gonna? Where are you wanting to sit here? As you enter in, it's a wide, large, it's tall. This is one of the few places that you've gotten into. Other trains you've had to kind of crouch down a little bit because you're just through the doorways. You're just a little too tall. But for here, there are legitimately like 3 rows of like bunks that are attached to the sides of the wall going completely down. They're like makeshift tables and like living spaces that people have put together. Very crowded inside here. And as you make your way in, clink, clink, you can see some of the people, because it's crowded in there. Some of the people see that and they go, oh, and they're like kind of like putting things next to their seat so you don't sit next to them because they don't want somebody who is passive coming in.
Because he's a people watcher and wants to learn from people, ideally, sit in the first corner that he can just watch over things.
Okay, yeah, absolutely, easy enough. There's a couple of kids who are there. They're like bouncing like a little ball off the wall of the train, kind of like catching it to each other, so playing a little game. There's enough space over there for you if you come over and you want to sit down next to them. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay,
It'd be a great place to sit and watch what's going on in the train.
As you walk over here, the kids are they're bouncing the ball, and all of a sudden they see like a big heavy leg, and the ball just bounces off the wall, and hits him in the face, and they're like, Do you say anything to them because they look?
You
they look a
can
little
continue.
intimidated.
Yeah, you can continue to play. That looks fun.
The kid goes, "Do you want to try?"
Yes. I take the ball and try to bounce it just like he was bouncing it.
Okay.
And try and bounce it like softer than he was bouncing it because I just saw it hit him in the face.
Sure.
And I don't want to hit him in the face really hard.
Make a strength check. Let's just see. Let's see how good you control it here.
Do a strength check. Oh yeah. Oh my god.
Oh.
I'm running the blender.
It's blending. So at Rolex, as you grab the thing here, you hear somebody plug in a little socket and a little blender goes off as they're making some food for themselves.
So yeah, I got a 9, so I could
Okay.
definitely throw it softly. That's for sure.
Yeah, easy enough. Ding, 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 and they catch it. And they start playing back with you here, and then you can see Dog. He's looking back and forth, like his eyes are just watching the ball bounce back and forth. Okay,
and probably just as comical because if you remember, Dog is actually a cat.
Exactly.
Cat watching the ball, and probably every now and then make a little swipe at it.
Yeah. Not wanting to fetch the ball, but just watching.
Oh, no, not at all.
Just watching the ball. All right. Speaking of cats, Les, you see Rolex walk off to the back part of the train. He gets a ticket. Ophidian goes in the exact opposite direction and gets a first class ticket. Where are you going? What do you want to do?
Les is going to count his coins. He knows that he bought alcohol a couple of times, and just see what he has left. I think I'll follow Rolex this time around.
Okay, yeah.
He's my buddy. I'll stick with him.
10 gold for a 2-day journey with where Rolex is at. If that's what
here you go.
Okay.
I definitely should have that.
Okay, so yeah, Rolex is a little bit ahead of you. He gets inside, and as you turn into this cart here, Les, you see him bouncing a ball with some kids in the front corner of this large cart here. Is there anything that you wanted to do or try to find a place to sit? It's very crowded here. Very crowded in there.
I think Les is just going to find a nice comfy place to – no, it's crowded, so not as comfy as you can get. And just kind of watch Rolex play with the ball and the kid, you said?
Make a investigation check or a perception check to see if you can find the best spot in here.
Let's do – you said perception or investigation?
Yes.
Investiception.
Mm-hmm.
Perception's better.
Perceptigation.
I may have clicked it twice.
That's okay. It's okay. All right. So both of those seem to be good enough here for just checking to see where it is. You can see Rolex is standing in the very front of this particular car. Above his head, there is there's another bunk, and it's like awkwardly positioned to where it's a little bit too high for a normal person just to kind of like grab up and pull themselves up and like sit on. So it seems to be relatively empty up there. There's a couple of people who've like thrown some bags and some clothes up there, but you feel that's probably the best place for you to kind of get up to and actually sleep or kind of live for the next 2 days.
All right. He leaps up there and crawls behind some bags.
Okay.
That way no one else can like throw a bag onto him.
Okay, excellent. I love it. All right, we go back to Ray's then real quick, as most of the party's now on the train.
Yeah.
With the exception of Eli. All right, Ray's. It's been a few minutes here. The person has not come back yet. What do you want to do?
Are the other two individuals still there?
Yeah, you can see they're finally finishing getting ready. There's like a couple of lockers on the very back wall. They're getting their hats on and things like that. They're getting like their train conductor bow ties on and stuff. And they are, just finally getting themselves cleaned up and ready to go to work here.
I'm gonna look over to them and be like, "Is that? When's he supposed to be back? I'm supposed to be on the next train."
They turn back to you and they go, I'm not sure. I mean, we don't have to contact Mr. Heidel very often. He might be having problems getting a hold of him.
We all know where the trains go, anyways. I really need to start my shift. I can't miss another payment.
Okay. They genuinely believe you when you say that here, and they go, yeah, it's rough out there, man. I'm sorry. But if you know Mr. Asen, he'll probably get this cleared up just like this. And as you say this here, the door opens up, Rays, and there is the individual, the person who you were talking to before, and you can see behind him there looks to be a guard behind him. It appears that the call with the person that you mentioned did not back you up in saying that he hired you at this moment. What do you want to do?
Fireball the train.
You did fire him.
Roll for panic.
Roll for panic. Actually,
I have that skill.
I have proficiency in panic.
I do have proficiency in panic.
Roll for emergency bathroom break.
Emergency bathroom break. Oi, oi, oi,
Have
oi,
to
oi,
go to
oi,
the
oi.
bathroom.
So this guard is like a regular city guard.
Yeah, it looks like a regular city guard. It looks like he probably works. He's been probably assigned exclusively to deal with people who are like trying to ride the rails for free and things like that. He looks like basic security kind of guard.
What's the expression on his face? Because I might be able to fuck with him.
The expression, the guard, you can see he looks like he's like coming off like the night shift a little bit here. So he's got like some bags under his eyes, and he's a little, but I mean, he looks pretty stern. He looks like he he's competent. He's not a horrible at what he does here. But you can see the individual who's looking at you. He goes, I just got off with Mr. Heidel's personal assistant here, and they said that he has not participated in any hiring. So we need to ask you a few questions, if you wouldn't mind joining us over here.
Of course not. Then who? Okay.
The guard starts to walk over to you, and you can see that he's got his hand on like the hilt of his belt, and you can see that there are two weapons on there. There's one that looks like a club, and there's another one that is actually like a short sword. He's got his hand on the club as he's walking towards you. He's like, all right, sir, please, this way. We'll put you in the holding until we get this all sorted out.
Okay.
Free ride.
It's not holding in the train. It's holding in the actual station.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy.
Free room and board then.
What do you want to do?
Does it look like I'm just going with the guard? Like
and the individual, yeah. And then the two guys who are back there going, he doesn't know him. I guess he doesn't know it. Mr. Bond, I guess he's getting brought back to they're kind of just chit-chatting about you here. But yeah, it's the older looking gentleman who is more the probably their boss, and then it is the guard.
Okay. Oh. Damn, I really should have prepped some paperwork for this. That would have looked much better.
Ask him if he has paper and something to write with.
Pull a Rolex.
There you go. Yeah.
Maybe you can convince him to take a nap in something comfy and lay on a bed.
Yeah, as you do this, are you going with them, at least in the short term right now?
I'm not resisting.
You enter into the back hallways of this station here, and you can see that it's pretty quiet in the hallway as you're making your way through. There's several rooms, and you can see there are a few people inside there. It sounds like there's some people who are like putting things away in filing cabinets, like the tickets and all that kind of stuff they sell through. They're kind of going through and doing like their data entry for fun stuff that they get a chance to do here. And then they're making their way, and you can see at the very, very end, there's like a little mini holding cell that they're bringing you towards.
Damn it. No, that only works if we're alone.
And then you can hear, as you're making your way up, you can hear the train whistle bellow as it's probably getting ready to depart with your friends who are on it currently.
Shit. So I'm... Damn, I can't use words of terror because there's two of them here, and I can only do it on one person if we're alone.
Again, there are doors where people are going in and out of and stuff like that, but again, in the hallway itself, it's pretty quiet right now.
Yeah,
so.
If there's not enough foot traffic for me to swap with someone, so to speak.
You can always try.
They didn't restrain me, did they?
No, they didn't. You did enough that they're confused, but they're not worried about you currently as far as being a threat enough.
Yeah. So this entire time, I want to be like mumbling, like to myself, like confused in a daze, like bringing up things like, oh well, who hired me then? Who did I talk to? What am I going to do about rent? How am I going to get groceries? What about poor Nana? Who's going to pay for her medicine?
Okay.
Just
poor lady.
My poor grandma. And when we the next person that walks past. Okay, so like, is the guard in front, or
the old
like,
man's in front?
how are we
The
positioned?
guard's like walking right next to you, like kind of like right slightly behind you. But the old man is in front of you, maybe a few steps ahead. He seems like he's moving with purpose towards the end of the hallway here. And as you're passing by some of these open doors, you do see, as you're starting to mumble and starting to say these things, you do see there are people inside who are like at their desk that like kind of pop out and go, what's going on here? And there's a few of them that are standing by the doorways that are like looking out as you're walking your way down. It doesn't seem like maybe they bring people this way often in terms of people who are being detained, because you're coming from the employee-only area.
Right.
So what do you want to do?
Okay. So I think I can solve this with some ventriloquism. Did I get the name of the official?
No, you did not ask for the name of the official. You can if you would like to.
Okay.
Well, actually, just make me a history check real quick, because he was wearing like a name badge on his shirt. So
All right.
let's just see.
29.
Okay.
My God.
All right. So you do see that his name is Terran.
Terran. Okay.
That's a second 29 on a history roll, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm fucking bomb at that. Okay, so the next time a door opens with like any amount of force, I want to throw my voice and kind of sound like urgent, like urgently calling him.
Okay, yeah. Make me a deception check or a performance check.
I would also like to sound like somebody else. Ooh, I know. I want to sound like the what is it, Wintermere guard captain whose voice I copied earlier with my actor feet.
And then do it with advantage then.
Yay!
Okay, 16. 16. You hear that voice, and are you just yelling for him in like one of the rooms, or are you saying something specific?
No, I'm just gonna be calling him like, hey, his name here now, like in a very, very stern, very commanding voice, which befits the character I'm trying to imitate.
Absolutely. With a 16, he kind of stops. You go and you hear you usually time you pick the right room here. There doesn't seem to be maybe anybody in that particular one, and he stops like a few feet ahead and he goes. He looks back at the guard, and the guard goes, I heard that is. I think it's in the other room, sir. And he goes, "What? Please." He turns and he kind of like shuffles past you, and he opens up the door to that room, and it's like a storage closet that he opens the door into, and he's looking around in there. And he kind of steps a few feet, and he goes, "Somebody, sir." He's like looking around. As the guard is kind of like, come on, man, let's go. Let's get this.
Okay, so as he's leading me away alone, I want to use words of terror to terrify him.
Excellent.
So we all know exactly how this works. I speak with him alone for 1 minute, and he becomes frightened of me or somebody I choose. I'm choosing me. If he fails a wisdom saving throw DC 16, he's frightened for an hour or until he or his allies are attacked or damaged. If he succeeds, he has no idea that I use this ability.
Okay. All right. So, so words of terror. What do you say to him to make him terrified?
I want to increase the severity of my ramblings. I want to escalate the problems that are in my life. I want to speak faster. I want to start like take a more demonic undertone in my voice. I want it to sound like he has chosen the exact wrong person to do this to today.
Okay, so as you start rambling on and the voice starts to echo through the hallway here, you're walking with this individual here. A minute goes by as you get like right up to the edge of the cell, and as you can see him. He's starting to like mutter back with you. He's going, oh yeah, no, bills are tough right now. Oh yeah, no, it's a scary economy out there. He's like, oh Nana, not Nana. Oh, then he starts to like freak out, and as he does, he just kind of like, because I
gotta call my mom.
He's like, I signed up to help people in the guard, and now I'm just arresting somebody who's trying to help their nana, and he just runs off.
Beautiful.
And he just runs away, and you're alone in the hallway right now. And as you're alone in the hallway, you can hear down the hallway the boss. He's the Terran. He's in there. He's going. You hear the door open. He goes, "What? There's nothing in. What the hell's going on?" He's not out yet, but you can hear him coming out of the room now.
Deuces.
All right.
I'm going to walk out, but I'm going to disguise myself as Les.
As Les?
I want to walk out the front door disguised as Les.
Okay.
I will use the spell slot for it.
Okay. All right. You're in the back hallway here. So again, you can disguise yourself right there before you actually turn, because as you make your way out through this hallway here, you kind of enter into like a general common area in this particular station where there's like the ticket counters where the staff members are coming out, and you get a few looks as this tabaxi walks out in heavy armor and stuff as you walk past them, but they're busy. There's a line of people waiting for the train, and they don't seem to pay you any real mind as you make your way out. You can hear the train starting to whistle.
I'm walking out, and I want to like make it sound like I'm in a good mood. I just got good news. So now I'm just going about my day.
Yep. And as you're going about your day, you hear the train starting to pull out of the station, going with your friends, because again, it did take you time. You spent a whole another minute doing words of terror, and the train is starting to.
Do I see Les at the top of the back of the train?
He's inside. He's at the top of the interior of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm snuggling up behind some bags. So
I'm gonna try to catch up to the train.
Make me a athletics check or acrobatics check to see if you can get there. It's crowded on the train platform.
Acrobatics, which is a +7, instead of my athletics, which is +1.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, would you look at that? I do have some tabaxi grace and speed.
You channel your inner Les, and as you run, like you jump down on the tracks as it's pulling out of the station, and you just kind of T1000 your way down there, just catching up. And as you do, there's like some people on the back of the last cart, and they're just kind of like hanging out the rails. They kind of put their hands out to you, and they're able to pull you on. You get on this train here, and you are there with them. And again, they're going, oh, come on up, buddy. Here, come on up. And as one of them grabs onto your hand, they're expecting to feel like a furry paw. They feel instead, again, a tiefling arm. As
they would actually be feeling my sleeve.
Your sleeve, yeah. And but they don't feel like the furry kind of claws and stuff like that. But they kind of pull you up there, and they're like, "You okay, man? You all right?" They kind of
no.
It's my first day.
No, I'm not. Oh fuck! I need to sit down.
Okay.
You're back.
Ophidian, as this is going on for all your friends, you are escorted into your own cart, your own private little secluded area from the rest of the world. These carts here seem to be soundproofed, so that again you do not hear the outside whirring, the outside clickety clacks of the train tracks and things like that, or just the general disturbances from other people. As you enter in, very, very opulently decorated here. There's actually a sitting chair with its own like little cubby for books and things that are there. A nice spread of that stuff. There's like its own little mini fridge that has actually powered, so it's actually delivering out chilled ice chips and things like that here. And there is, of course, sitting on the center table here, there's already a chilled bottle of a very nice looking wine that is inside. There's like a robe and some slippers that are hanging behind the door. You're like, this is nice.
Yeah. In contrast, I think.
Oh, I can't hear
for space.
I think Ophidian's. I couldn't hear him. I think he was muted.
Yeah, Chris will unmute himself in a moment.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, this is the way to travel. It's very nice.
Yeah. There's a very nice looking man. He kind of comes over. He's very astute, and he's got like his suit is fully pressed. He goes, "Good evening, sir. May I get you anything? Or may I get you anything?"
Whatever's on the whatever rare meat you can give me on the menu.
Of course, I will bring in the lamb immediately. And it turns around and he heads out there to bring in probably a very delicious meal. Okay, you guys are on the train. It's a 2-day journey there. Is there anything you guys would like to try to do in that 2 days? Learn, try to communicate with, or do you want to move forward into getting off and heading into the area that you need to discover or make your way through to get down into the depths of the Undercity?
The depths.
Yeah, for me, it would be the usual of casually rubbing elbows with the high society people. Not like I don't want to interject myself in the conversation, just kind of over here. And maybe if I do recognize anybody, maybe I'll just chat it up for a little bit. But keep it very casual, not to arouse any suspicions, because I'm not really here to like see what's going on. But just if I overhear anything, that kind of thing.
Okay. So Rolex, Les, you guys, and Raise, unless you want to stay in the back cart with them, it's up to you as far as where you want to go.
I have two things. One, I just want to say, even with all that trouble, I still rode the train for free. Two,
so far, they're going around taking tickets right now.
Prestidigitation.
No ticket.
Make me a.
Actually, what I would like to do is take a moment to forge a ticket with
make me a forgery check,
paper.
Please.
Forgery. Guess I saw sleight of hand, deception, history.
Forgery is actual a tool. So again, it's your dex plus your proficiency if you're proficient in forging things. If you're not, then it's just a dex check.
No, I am proficient with the drum, the pan, the flute, and the viol.
So then, so it's just a dex check then, unless there's a way you would like to try to encourage or try to again bolster your ability to copy things over.
He writes it in green crayon.
Well, the thing is, like, I'm
backwards.
surrounded by authentic tickets.
You are, but that doesn't mean you can necessarily copy it very easily.
True, but I do have plenty of inspiration, and this isn't the first document I forged. I did one earlier in the campaign.
You did. But this one was what was a roll an 8 on this one.
I see.
Okay, so as you're trying to furiously copy this, there is no suspension or shocks in these carriages back here. It is.
I know how to get around the problem.
How do you want to do that?
So remember how I disguised myself as Les?
Mm-hmm. You are disguised as Les.
I wait for them to check his ticket.
Okay.
Les gets kicked off.
Les, don't get kicked off.
All right, Les and Rolex, you guys are in this carriage here. Is there anything you guys want to do on your downtime, or are you guys just good with just riding the rails, people watching, doing your thing? What do you guys want to do?
Yeah, unless there is any obvious, I don't know, somebody that might be involved with all the nasties going on, the burnings, the killings, and what have you. Rolex is just probably going to play with the kids and watch the people and wait for the train to stop.
Les found a nice comfy place to take a nap. So until you hear something about tickets, he's just going to kind of doze off.
Yeah. Since Ray's was the back here, the ticket taker comes to the front of the carriage here. He gets Rolex your ticket, obviously, and he kind of like Les, you feel like a poke in like your ribs from down below, and he's going, oi, ticket, yeah, ticket check.
Here you go.
He looks at it, he punches it, and he goes, all right, keep that on you. And he turns and he starts to walk down. And he starts to go through the entire place there. He makes his way through the entire thing, and he gets back to you, Rays. And he's going through, he punches some people's tickets next to you, and he's kind of just waiting for yours. He's all right, ticket.
Didn't I just see you?
He looks at you and he goes, ticket.
Okay.
There's probably a few hundred people in these cars here. And even though you are a tabaxi, you can see this person here. He just kind of wants to get the tickets, punch them, and then continue to move on.
Okay. I'll pull out scrap of paper. Use my finger, like, punch a tiny hole in it, and, like, flash it to him.
He's holding his hand up. Come on.
You don't need to see his identification.
He reaches out as he's like looking down, and he's like punching other people's tickets as he's looking at them. He like grabs onto the thing and he's pulling it towards him to see if are you letting go of it or are you just keeping it? Yeah. As
he's distracted, I'm gonna walk away. I'm gonna take off the spell.
As you pull it off, make me a. It's a crowd. It's a tight, crowded, packed area here. He grabs it. You have a second as this happens because he was looking this way and he's going to try to pull it here. Make me a deception check, performance check, something that will give you enough cover, or stealth check to see if you can get away without him noticing you.
Can I do an acrobatics to weave through the crowd.
Sure. Let's go ahead.
19.
19. Okay, so with that, you kind of just drop the illusion and you swing through. And as this is happening, he goes, "What? Oh, hey!" He looks around. He doesn't seem to see you. But are you dropping yourself? And are you when you drop the illusion? I'm assuming your hood's up and stuff like that here.
If there are no other tieflings, then I will throw my hood up. If there are other tieflings in the cars, then I'm just going to leave my hood down because it's going to be a better disguise to look like one of them than to try to cover myself.
Yeah. There are a few tieflings that are inside here. Again, they're not that many. I mean, there's probably like 2 or 3 that you can see, like the tip of a horn or something like that, or a tail that's kind of like waving up and down as again, it's crowded in here, but not a lot. So it's up to you as far as how you want to do it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like try to move closer towards them. I don't want to make it look like I'm a beelining though. Okay. Just kind of like meandering with the crowd.
All right. As he turns around, he's going to make a roll to see if he cares enough to follow you because he has a lot of tickets to take. Okay. Yeah. He goes. Oh, good Lord. He crumbles it up, throws it on the ground, and he goes back to punching tickets. You get the sense that for now you're fine. Okay.
Free ride.
Ophidian, please roll me a perception or investigation check. Let's see if you can determine if there's anyone of note that you would like to rub some elbows with.
All right.
Roll for elbow rubbing.
Okay, yeah. There are a few people that are of note inside this train here. Now, how much do you want to do with them? With what you rolled, you would definitely be interested enough to talk with them here, but like how far do you want to go with talking?
To me, it would be if anything intersects, any line of conversations intersect what we're looking into, if it's Phineas or John O'Plashar, like rumors like that, if I could get that one extra piece of the puzzle maybe for anything that the team is working on.
Okay, so you hear that you hear from a couple of high-ranking, looks like to be families here, ones that are very, very much in that kind of social circle. And again, you're in this particular part of the train. You belong here, all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. They willingly kind of share some rumor with you that Phineas has not been seen in the past day or so. That no one knows where he is, and his even his right-hand man, Garthok, has seemingly not been seen for the past, for the past several things. He had a couple of speaking engagements he was supposed to be giving that he canceled suddenly. So, but that's what you get. They don't know what it is. It's still very highly speculative. But this kind of social circle likes those kind of things. They like to guess and to talk about stuff. But yeah, that's what you would get as far as crossover, as far as what might be happening that you can glean.
Okay, cool.
Okay, Rolex, roll me a check for people watching and see if there's anything that you see. Whatever you want, as far as investigation, perception.
Yep. Let me see what I got here. Investigation is the one that I should be doing. Yeah, not so much. I mean,
you're just
plus 9. I got a 12.
Yeah, so. With what you rolled there, you're just having fun with the kids. You're having fun with the kids.
It is very interesting to watch the kids at play because it's something I don't see that often in such an enclosed environment for such a long period of time. I mean, there's going to be kids playing nearby for 2 days with this training time.
Absolutely. All right. Okay. And then Les, you were good with just hanging out, and Les is, I think, gone at the moment here.
Yeah, Randy just dropped. We'll get him back.
Okay. Well, Randy is still asleep at the very top of the thing here. The group, 2 days pass in travel time. You guys get your spell slots back, your health back, all that kind of stuff. Some of the train ride is much more comfortable for some of you than others. Rays, you do have to do a little bit of dodging around some of the people that are coming around and just verifying that the count of people is correct on the train and no one's jumped on at some of the stops and stuff. But again, you do a good enough job of that here with what you've had already. You guys arrive in Hightown, and again, it is night and day experience as far as what you guys get to. The train rolls into a less crowded station. There is only a handful of people that are wandering around, and again, it's not like shoulder to shoulder bumping into people. There's not that pervasive odor of body heat and sweat and stuff like that from just overcrowding in this particular area. Even less less Rolex and Rays, the back train carts that you were on have emptied out because those people, they don't come up to this particular part of town very often. There's a couple people who are still there that seem like they work maybe for the families that are there, maybe housekeepers, groundskeepers, things like that. Maybe some people who are there to go and fix and work on some projects or buildings that they have. But again, it's the last leg of the journey is actually relatively comfortable for you guys, as you guys can kind of spread your legs and arms out and stretch a little bit from being crowded in these things here, with the exception of Ophidian. Ophidian has been comfortable the entire time. Ophidian maybe has actually even gained maybe 1 or 2 pounds after eating such
I've been
rich
working out,
food.
man. What are you talking about? Gotta get those gains.
That's true. There's actually a workout cart inside the actual class. Ophidian was just on a rowing machine the entire 2 days.
Nice.
The train rolls in. You guys are now in Hightown, and again, unlike the districts you've been in before, where the tops of the buildings blocked out the sky, and there are some parts in that city where you would not see daylight. Here, the tallest building is maybe a few stories tall, and they're all opulent style housing. There are taverns that are looks like taverns, have their patio and dining stuff outside here. People who are waiting out in front of podiums taking reservations and things. The streets are paved with immaculate cobblestones that look like they've been imported. They almost look like marble that is inlaid inside of them here. It is incredibly different as far as where you guys have been and what you're experiencing now. You can see, again, they don't hide it here. Lord Phineas Wintermere does not hide his wealth, and you can see there is a massive estate with high walls that can be seen even from here up on top of a hill leading towards the back where the river is and the forest is. That is where your destination lies. So what do you guys want to do?
I do want to mention to the rest of the group that word on the street is that Phineas has been seen in public for a few days. He even canceled a couple speaking engagements, and even his right-hand man Garthok has not been seen. So there's a good chance they might not be here. Maybe they're hanging out with what was that Drow's guy's name? I can't remember his name right now.
Antifa is.
Yeah. So maybe he's underground finishing his membership. Trying to work his way into the old family again.
Yeah, and as Ophidian is saying this, he's got like the robe still on a little bit. He's taking it off and putting it inside of inside of his bag.
It's like taking a hotel. I'm taking all the stuff with me.
He's got all the little toiletries that he's like lining inside of his pocket, and then he's also got a to-go bag of some what looks to be delicious desserts. That
you guys want some lamb meat? Want some lamb chops?
He's got the whole like folded swan.
Folded swan that's coming out.
Oh, excellent. I will partake. Thank you.
Actually, yes, that does sound rather nice. Less than I just like eating out of it.
Yeah, you got it was wrapped so that it's like the foil that was on there is like seems to have like some sort of little runic etchings in it that keeps it hot inside. So again, as you open it up here, it's like still steaming a little bit here, even though that maybe Ophidian hadn't touched it in the past several hours. It is again high class stuff, and you guys eat your fill, and you are again free to act. Where do you guys want to go?
That's an MRE, a meal that's runically enhanced.
There you go.
I like it.
1,000 points for Joe.
There you go, Joe. You can have inspiration for that because that was great.
I give myself some applause.
Man, do we have a laugh track?
That one I haven't put one in
We
yet.
are the laugh track.
Okay.
No, I don't say anything funny, so Joe's not going to have anything laughter about it.
That's true. That's true.
Just wah-wahs.
Yep. But I guess for Rolex's purposes, this is once we're off the train, it's definitely a goal-oriented mission. It's just heading towards what he remembers as that entrance. Happy to take any sidetrack with anybody else, but just going to be a slow, steady pace heading towards where we're supposed to go to get to that entrance.
Anybody
I don't have
have
my walking
anything?
stick anymore.
Yeah, anybody have anything they want to do, or are you guys following Rolex?
I want to see if there's like a general goods store, an accessory store, somewhere I can get a new walking stick, because I remember back in the sewers, I threw away my only weapon.
Yeah, so Rolex starts taking you through like the center part of the downtown area of Hightown. There are tons of options for you. Several different general stores, several different kind of shops out there. Make me a investigation check to see if you can find one that would fit your needs.
Do any of us look out of
23.
place in this part of town, by the way, or not?
As you guys get into the actual town part, yes, you start to stand out a little bit as most people are wearing like very fine looking robes, almost business style suits. Large top hats seem to be a thing in this particular part of the town here. You guys are wearing kind of adventuring gear. You guys are decked out more in that kind of stuff here, depending on what you change into as you move in. But you do start to stand out a little bit, yes.
Okay.
Yep. But there is, you look through some of the shops and some of them seem, the prices are bad. Oh my gosh. For a walking stick, you can see that it's like 40 gold pieces in some ones because they're finely, intricately made here. You can see that some of them are bejeweled and have different things on them here. And there are several people who are in there who are purveyors of these. They go, oh yes, this is some of the finest work from the Wayward Motion here. We imported it just last week here. It's a steal at 100 gold pieces, raise. But with what you do roll, you do see that there is a couple of shops that you might be able to find one. You see there is the Sparkling Sword, which looks to be a fashion armorer. It looks like they make things that might not be, they might not have combat fully in mind. It looks like they're made for more show and stuff. But as you're walking past, you can see that the person with what you rolled maybe looks like they have maybe more humble roots. You can see some of the price tags on some of the items looks to be more reasonable. You could find a walking stick here if you're looking for just a basic one, or you can talk to the person and see if there's something else that you might be able to get. It's up to you.
I would like to speak with them directly.
Yeah, you can see this person here looks to be middle-aged, probably you would imagine half elven, because again, looks like one of his ears has been like kind of like damaged or something that doesn't fully come to a certain point here. It looks like maybe it's been cut or slashed at. You can see that he is not wearing the same kind of robes that the other people are wearing. He looks more like work style that he's wearing. Still looks good though. Still definitely puts in an effort, but is more about function than fashion. And he's just kind of going through doing things. So with that, what do you want to say to him as you're in there? He's like, welcome in. What can I do for you?
I come seeking a specialty item,
No,
and I'm going to pull out a sheet of paper, inkwell, pen, and I'm going to draw out the basic design of the Equala. Essentially, it's just turning the short spear into a quarterstaff, but a quote-unquote walking stick. Just one half is the sheath, the other half's the actual Equala.
Yeah. I think I could do this for you here. I mean, you're not wanting anything special, any kind of crazy medals, inscriptions, designs, things like that. We can make whatever you want here. It might take a few days.
No.
Unless you want something very basic.
Just regular
Short
old
and
Equala.
simple.
Short and simple, yeah. If you want, I can get this whipped up for you here. Probably, let's just roll here. Probably in the next 20 or 30 minutes here. I got a few pieces that might actually fit that particular build. They just need a few tweaks.
Absolutely.
All right. It'll be about, for this, 25 gold for this.
Gladly.
Okay. You have your 25 gold. You guys work there for about an hour or so. You can have it right there, or you can come back. It's up to you.
I'll return for it shortly.
Okay. All right. He starts getting to work on it here. Rolex. You start to make your way through this part of the town here, and you guys start to get, as you get closer to the Wintermere estate, you start getting more looks. Rolex. With your guys' passive perception, you guys would kind of see that just in general. You guys would see people.
Oh, damn right. I'll see it with my passive perception.
Yeah. You guys
19.
You guys see that there are people who are starting, like there are people who are walking and being escorted down with different employees and things like that, house servants, and you can see them kind of like walking past you. You can almost hear them going, "Oh, God, who are these ruffians here coming into our town? Maybe we should alert the guard. Maybe we should." You can hear that people are again they're not engaging with you. They're not fully coming out and confronting you, but you can see that, you can feel that, yeah, they know we're here. But Rolex, you make your way up, and as you're making your way up, you're starting to see these flashes again here. You're seeing, as you're like walking, like the actual like landscape of the city change as you like blink. As you blink, you can see, as you open your eyes here, the building it was smaller. It was blue in color instead of this kind of like mahogany as far as the roof. The walls were a little bit lower. You can see, and then you blink again, and it's what it is right now. As you get closer and closer, these things happen more frequently. They happen faster, and you can see even trails of people, bodies that were there in the past, like almost like ghosts that were there, who are walking around these guards here, around this part of town. I'm sorry. You continue to walk, and you can see that Rolex is walking, and he's starting to approach the actual estate. And as he approaches the actual estate, you can see that there are several guards up in towers that they kind of look down in his direction. Rolex, you see them as well. I don't know if you would be inclined to stop, but
I would say no. As long as I am not aware that I'm doing anything wrong or trespassing, I will just continue on my way.
Make an intelligence check. Let's just see if you know if you're trespassing, because again, you haven't reached the walls yet at the place. You're just getting closer to the grounds.
Okay. I am intelligent. So
And we are walking on the road.
Oh, 19. Okay.
Yeah. So you know that, yeah, you're not trespassing yet, but you are getting closer, and you do know enough that these guards are very, very much very protective of what's going on. So you imagine that if you get too close, that people might come out to see you here. But as you are getting closer and closer, and again, you kind of like slow down your steps a little bit so that you're not encroaching in that particular zone. Again, you close your eyes, and as you open again, you can see that this particular area there was not a high brick wall. This particular area here, it was nothing but open land with different topiaries and different things. You could see almost like the ghostly figures of people running and playing inside this area. There was a fountain here. And as you're looking through it here, you pass the fountain, maybe about 100 feet beyond that here, towards where the mouth of the river was, looks to be an old well. Or a well-shaped object here. It was stone-centric circles that were around here, and it looked like there was maybe a cover over it. And that's where you know that you need to go to get down into the Undercity. Now, you can't see it. You can't see it through here because, again, now you're looking at a brick wall.
All right, that's what I was going to say. What does it look like now? So I just know it's somewhere behind the brick wall, based on the memory access.
Exactly.
I don't have everybody with me at this point, so I think I'd wait till everybody was there.
Yeah, they're all close enough. So yeah, you guys following closely behind Rolex, and as you guys do, you can see there are a few guards on the top of this wall here. The wall is about maybe 12 feet tall in certain areas. That's like the lowest it gets because the ground does dip and deviate a little bit here, and at the highest is probably maybe 14 to 15 feet. So it's not like too much deviation, but you can see there are two guards that are like that were over on other sides, and they start to walk towards where Rolex is at, and Rolex is off away from the wall. He stopped well enough ahead, but they're walking towards where he's at and like just looking down towards where he is and seeing things. But all of you are together, so
I will take the group, kind of huddle up and walk away slowly. While walking, kind of lead you guys away and say, I was not here before. I can tell the entrance is on the other side of the wall. We must pass to get to the other side in order to get to the entrance. I don't know a good way. Maybe
that's going to be a tall order. No pun intended.
What about going underneath somewhere?
Is there underneath?
There's always underneath.
In a state like this, we can assume that the walls go at least 3 feet below the surface of the ground. And even then, there's still the possibility of subterranean defenses, magical wards, or perhaps, if they could keep it under control, a bullet. Bullet? I don't know how people pronounce it. It's never in the city proper.
It is a war mole.
A war mole, yes. Correct. Over would probably be safer, but more likely to trigger an alarm.
Who can sneak and look for a way while we keep the guards distracted?
Well, there's the cat person, the demon, and
I'm pretty good
that
at
one.
slithering around.
I clanky clank when I walk, so I'm not very sneaky.
Right, but you're a cat.
True.
Am I a cat?
Take the armor off, and what are you? You're still a cat.
I feel discrimination.
I'm literally a demon. Get on my level.
Literally.
I crouch down.
Now that's just rude.
No lower.
Regardless, this will be rather tricky.
So if someone can sneak and look for a way, we can distract the guards.
All right.
What
Raise.
shape does Eldritch Blast take?
Whatever shape you want. It's a bolt of Eldritch.
Oh,
energy.
good. I'm just going to put that in my pocket for later.
Okay.
So is Ophidian going to sneak? Is that what we're saying?
I could definitely. I mean, if it just wants to be me, that's cool. If you want to have me and Ray's like kind of best
Yeah.
effort and see what we can get, you know.
Well, what's important for Rolex is that he's just going to keep the attention of the guards by walking away and then back towards the wall and away and then back towards the wall, because he's not particularly deceptive, but he noticed they paid more attention to him as he got closer. So at least with intelligence, he'll know that he can walk away a little bit and then walk towards them again and then walk away and towards them. So
yeah.
keep up a little pattern to maybe keep their interest while somebody else does something.
Okay, so Ophidian and Rays, you're trying to sneak. Where are you wanting to sneak? Because again, the wall goes. You guys are like on the edge of the actual city wall. I'm not the city, the estate wall. I'm sorry.
Right.
So there's a path going down this way here. Again, it is patrolled towards the river, and there's another path that heads down towards where the front gate is, which is off maybe several hundred feet that way. Where do you guys want to sneak? How do you want to sneak?
I guess first, let's Rolex. Do you remember anything about what the estate looks like on the side where the Everland Forest is? Is there another wall, or are they using natural barriers? How does that work? Do you recall anything, or does anybody know from what they've heard?
In the past, there were no walls, and it was a garden and a well. Today, I cannot see past the wall. I cannot tell you what is on the other side.
Because there is that option of, I mean, it looks like there's nothing by the Everland Forest, but then I don't know if that has its own set of problems to deal with. Or is there something river access that would be like to go underneath? I'm not sure, you know. Because we could always try some sewer action like we used to do.
We could fake that we're gardeners and see if we can get access to the grounds and tell them we're supposed to start today.
Yeah,
That would take some very careful wordplay.
Yeah, and I could have came up with documents for that, but I need more time, and they're going to be on the ball with stuff like that, I would imagine.
I do not know if there is a garden today. There was 100 years ago.
Doesn't necessarily have to be a garden. Could just be keeping the lawn low and green.
Oh, whoops. That was unintentional. I did not cast Enthrall.
It's either that or we have the option, we have the option where we can disguise ourselves as like business, like real high society business people that would be coming to do business, you know, with Phineas or anybody that lives here, and just try to get our way in. But that's, you know,
we would still require paperwork, fancier clothing.
Well, we could disguise ourselves.
Practice my demeanor.
We could disguise ourselves.
And then excused for a Warforged and his cat.
We work our way in, and then we get you guys in later. I don't know.
That's fine with me too. But again, my Rolex's plan at this point is to keep the guards occupied while somebody else figures out how to get in there.
So does the family have any like events going on at the estate right now? Would I need to roll a history check?
Yeah, make a history check. Let's see if you know if there's any events coming up.
They're playing the Where's Phineas game right now.
Yeah, could be pretty bad.
That's a 26 history check.
Yeah, so they do have garden parties. They do have a lot of events. They're very social because they like to flaunt their wealth and their power in front of their friends. With what you rolled, the next thing that would be coming up would be in about 3 or 4 days. 4 days from where we're at right now. I'm sorry. 4 days away, they're going to be having a society event to celebrate what Phineas was going to be proclaiming is the relaunching of his magnificent airships that you guys had single-handedly sabotaged prior to our start of our campaign.
Oops.
Well, there is a society event in 4 days. They intend to relaunch the airships. I'm sure we all remember those, how they burned.
Yeah.
Well, to celebrate those coming back up, they're going to be hosting a party, a garden party, inviting all manner of influential individuals. That could be a way in.
So we could say, and I assume people would show up early to stay for a few days prior. Is that normal, Jason, for stuff like that?
Absolutely. You wouldn't need to. Yeah, you know enough about society stuff like that. Fairly common, especially how big the city is.
I want to see Ray's disguise himself as a party planner and go there.
I am down for that. 100% down for that.
I can be the assistant, I guess. You just I'm the shit monkey, does all the work, but you're just like, you know.
Or better yet, Randy, go.
I get to wear a chef hat.
Chef hat, yes.
Absolutely. Everybody would absolutely be thrilled to have a chef that is covered in body hair.
Yeah, as a Tabaxi, you have a body hairnet.
That's part of the experience.
Yeah.
That's true Tabaxi cuisine. If you don't retch up half your meal
Yes,
afterward, did you really eat Tabaxi?
Mm-hmm.
It's a cultural thing.
Yep.
Surely we could actually roll that into our bit.
Yeah,
Telling you.
It's a delicacy.
Oh, big time.
I'm actually really on board with this plan.
You
Yeah.
have to not have
yeah,
a delicate
but-
stomach to get through the meal.
But Chris,
I'm just
instead
thinking
of
of how
like,
well it turned out to become a train conductor. That I'm looking forward to that.
hey, look, that was bureaucracy. This is high society. It's two different beasts.
Yeah.
Two different
They like it weird, man.
Exactly.
Same digital D20 though.
They're probably going to be so thrilled to have a demon as a fucking wedding planner.
Yeah.
The novelty of it. But yeah, Chris, maybe instead of like the planner and the assistant, we're both the planner, but both are convinced the other's the assistant.
Oh yeah.
Really play up the eccentricity, get
Yes.
the money's worth.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I'm a fan of this here. How do you want to execute this?
We're going to need time to make up documents and approach the estate.
Well, if we need time, then and we're all aware of the plan, then yeah, we should walk away for a little while, find a spot to maybe sip an espresso and put together some fraudulent documents.
Oh yeah, I need to pick up my Equa.
All right, so I have infiltration expertise, but normally I can make unfailingly false identities if I have 7 days. That's unfailing.
I feel
If
like
we only
the
have
party is in 4 days, so you'd have to be faster than that.
So how good are those? You know what I mean?
We'd have to roll. We'd have to roll.
Yeah.
To see how good those
Partially
were.
failing.
We'd have to roll.
It's like the only thing I don't believe is the spelling of your name.
So yeah, if you guys want to, you guys can head.
It's all Sanskrit. It's good.
Yeah, you guys can head back easily to find a place to hang out. You guys can stop by and pick up your weapon raise. So obviously, again, mark off 25 gold. You would have that there, unless again you guys want to try to scout anything around the actual estate before you do that. But yeah, there's plenty of places to go and have a drink in this particular part of town. An expensive drink, but a drink nonetheless.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're here, I think we might as well do like a roundabout just to see if we luckily glimpse something that they don't think is important and we might think it's important to use, to get in. I wouldn't mind taking a look around.
Sure, yeah. Go ahead and make me a perception check or an investigation check as you wander around the thing. Now, again, how close do you want to get to wandering? Because guards are watching you.
Is if Rolex could get some interference, just so I could do it without.
Okay, yeah, Rolex, are you going to be
over my
providing a
shoulder.
distraction in this time still?
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. If anyone needs that, knowing that the guards were paying specific attention to me, I would definitely create that. So whether that be the help or aid or providing aid.
So make me just a performance check with advantage on it because
Um,
they clearly are watching you, or you can do something else, deception.
I'd like to think of it as just intelligence.
Okay.
I walked towards them, knew they watched, walked away. I just deductive reasoning. That's about it.
Sure, go ahead.
Let's see. 17.
17. With a 17, you start meandering back and forth, and again, you do so in a way that, like, one of the guards, like, he sees you walking away, he kind of stops, turns, and then you turn back around, he turns back around and watches you, and he kind of goes back and forth. It happens a few times before he kind of just stands there and just watching you, and he's starting to, like, call in some other people over. It seems like you've done enough of a job right now so far to warrant their attention. So Ophidian, Rays, and Les, you guys can make a stealth check or an investigation check to see what you can learn around the actual estate.
Yeah, I rolled a 17 before he did his intelligence thing, but
I'll make
I'll
an
roll
investigation.
again. Oh, nice.
29 investigation.
Does my
319 tonight.
Does my distraction provide them any bonuses or advantage?
I'll take a look too.
I think with a 29, I think that they would learn enough. Between all three of them here, I think that they did enough to get what they need. So what do you guys want to try to learn or discern from this?
So with the investigation, I'm not so much like looking at like patrol patterns and like placements of furniture or whatnot. I'm more in the nitty gritty of like the actual physical barriers, what stands in my way, how the river flows, how stones are stacked, thickness of walls, etc., etc. I'm getting like hands and knees. I'm getting dirty with it.
Yeah. So as you get down with their here again, typically there's a guard like standing that would stop you, but again, Rolex did a good enough job for you to really kind of get up close and personal with the wall. It is expertly crafted. It is at least you would estimate as you put your hands on it and you kind of like give a little bit of a push and you kind of like tap on it with your fist. It is easily probably 6 feet deep as far as stonework goes. Because again, there are people who are traveling back
thick or like deep.
Thick.
Okay.
And then going down, you know, with what you rolled here, going down, that probably drops into the actual earth, maybe 5 to 7 feet down, depending on where it's at here. Because again, it's a 12 to 15 foot wall, very sturdy. Doesn't seem like there's any give in it here. This estate has been around for a long time. The family's been in power for a long time. You've never even heard of them having issues with the wall as far as weather or storms or things like that, knocking it over and needing it to be repaired or replaced. As you kind of looking around and you're glancing from side to side, you can see down towards where the forest enters, where the forest meets with it here. The wall does have like some overgrowth and some vines that are around it here. It looks like they've been cleared off from where the guards are at here, but there's definitely looks to be things that have built their way into like vines have wrapped their way into the actual cobblestone and the brickwork and things like that here. You can see down the other end, there is the river. The wall goes all the way out to the river itself. It actually extends into the waterway about maybe 5 feet. So it looks like they built into it there, or maybe just the river's a little bit higher right now and it's gotten up to that point. So you can see that they've done a pretty good job of moving it all the way down to that particular spot. So no real weaknesses that you can see in the wall with you got a good chance to look at this wall here. You do not feel that the wall is a weakness currently as far as the structure or how it's built.
The river itself, am I able to detect any sort of like either directly an opening for sewage or detect like, hey, there's more fish in this area, so there's probably nutrients here indicating sewage?
They import fish into this river. You guys would know this just in general here to make the river more pleasant. The only way to get into the sewers, to get into that particular part, is across the river. There is the other district. It's right in front of Guild Row. It's a little bit better than the district you came from. It's not like the mega complexes where people are living on top of each other. Still pretty crowded, but that would be the only way to get there. That's where the farmlands are. That's where the Pashar family lives and they operate out of. That would be the only way. There are networks that go through the actual river underneath Hightown, but you have to get over there across the river to get to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as far as weak points go, that vines in the cobble is really the only thing, but
potentially
I don't have the magics to work with that.
Yeah. Ophidian, what do you want to discern from what you guys rolled?
I'm just looking to see like if there's any choke points that we could use later on, or if there's like what the egress and ingress points are, whether it's people that work here or visiting, just like the normal daily patterns of things like that. And let's see if they the guards kind of drop their attention because they get complacent about seeing the same kind of people all the time, which they kind of slack off in certain areas.
Yeah, you have to go to the front of the actual estate. You can do that because, again, Rolex is doing a good enough job of actually distracting them. And you have to look through it because, again, it's a solid brick wall. You can't see over it. You can't see through it, so you can't see what's going on inside. There doesn't seem to be anybody coming in and out right now from the street into the actual thing. But as you make your way over and you start to kind of look through the actual front gate, you can see it is, again, lavishly designed. There are several electrical lanterns that have like fairy lights that are draped underneath them, overseeing the actual pathways. There is the fountain that Rolex was talking about. It is still there. It still looks like it's in very good shape. It looks like it might be bigger than Rolex, what he kind of described to you. It's no longer like a 2-tier fountain. It's like 4 tiers tall now. If you were standing at the top of that fountain, you could actually see over the wall potentially. And you can see that it's weirdly inactive right now. Right now, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of activity going on in and around the house, except for the guards that are wandering around up at the top. You can see that the front estate, there's like several massive columns and pillars. You can see that in front of the front door, there are about 4 guards. They don't seem to be at attention. They kind of seem to be like leaning up against some of the pillars, and they're just looks like they're talking. You're a little bit too far away to hear them because they're more than a couple hundred feet away from you because it's a massive estate. But you can see those are the only ones you could see in there. It seems very quiet right now. And again, Ophidian, you probably would associate that with the fact that the Lord is probably not in the manor at the moment, and so it's a little bit quieter.
So there is no preparation for a so-called upcoming party.
It's 4 days away still. So
okay, yeah, but there's nothing.
Nothing right now. Nothing right now. Nothing that would be discernible. If they are planning something, it might be inside one of the buildings. It's not happening outside.
Okay.
What season is it?
It is. It's getting to be fall, so it's like spring. It's end of summer and into fall right now.
Oh, so it's probably more towards the hotter months then. Okay.
It's cooling down. It's cooling down in this area. Les, what about you? What do you want to discern?
Not a fairly high roll, but I guess I would look at the guards, see how well they look there armored wise, and watch their patrols, see if they seem like they're pretty trained with what they're doing, see how their discipline is.
They're definitely
was kind of doing that. But.
Yeah, they're definitely attentive. You can see that they are keeping watch, at least the ones on the wall. And as you're like watching them here, and again, you're not really making yourself super obvious, but you can see Rolex in your peripherals just wandering back and forth. You see them talking to each other, and then all of a sudden the front gate opens and you see several guards walking out. Ophidian, you see them come well before this happens, and you move out of the way, and they walk out and they're moving their way towards Rolex, who's just wandering around right now. And Lex, as they pass you, you can overhear them going, looks like another machine is broken here. Let's see what's going on with this one. And they're walking towards Rolex right now. And again, as they walk past you, with what you guys rolled, because again, you guys did a group check here. So Lex, even though you didn't roll very well, the group did a good enough job to see. You can see they are wearing what appears to be in your kind of expertise as far as being a fighter and being a guard yourself. They are wearing some pretty tough armor. You can see that the armor looks like it's made out of potentially mithril or adamantine to a degree. So they probably have gotten some of the best equipment in terms of what they are wearing to protect, of course, the most important person in the city. But they're walking towards you. Rolex, you see 3 guards walking towards you. They don't seem to be hostile, because again, you haven't done anything really except you're being a little suspicious. And as they're walking towards you here, what would you like to do? You definitely see them. You clearly see them since you were trying to distract them.
So my companions are still looking around at this point.
Yeah, they've gone off, and you can still see them. Ophidian is around the side of the house. He just kind of got out of the way as they came out here. Ray's is down towards the river, and then Les is closest to you right now, I would say.
Yeah. I think just to prolong the distraction, as soon as I notice them walking towards me, I will nonchalantly walk away from them at about half the speed. So it just takes them longer to reach me and give my friends more time to do
quick. He's getting away.
Yeah, they see you walking. They're like, they start to kind of pick up the pace as you're walking away from them, and they catch up to you. And again, you definitely gave them enough time. You definitely feel.
And the whole time I'm like looking in different directions. And one of the other things that I would want to be doing with Rolex is as these flashes come back, keep looking in different directions to try and remember different things, like remembering the well and, there wasn't a wall here before. So looking in different directions to see what else was over there before, and have these flashes come in to help me fill in a current map and a 100-year-old map at the same time, kind of thing.
Absolutely.
But in keeping them distracted, it will really just depend when he comes up to me what his approach is going to be, or them, the guards,
So they walk up
compared to how much longer my buddies need to finish up.
They walk up to you, and you can see the three of them. Two of them look like just regular kind of younger soldiers, and the one of them is a little bit older, and he's carrying with him. It looks to be he's got like almost like a tool belt around his waist, and he's going, these service bots here, just I don't know how they keep getting over. This one seems to be a little bit unique. He walks up, he goes, "You there, halt," and he's kind of like telling you to stop.
Yeah. And I'll stop. If he holds up a restraining bolt, he is done for.
Yeah. As you stop, he goes, "Oh, at least it listens." He walks over to you and he like starts looking up and down. He goes, "I'm not seeing a. This doesn't seem like one of the cities here." He looks at you and he goes, "You there? What is your name?"
I am Rolex. I belong to no one. I am my own.
He looks at you and he goes, he looks back at the guards and he goes, "I don't believe that this particular one here I can work on, but what are you doing over
I
here?"
am functioning properly.
What are you doing here, Rolex?
Testing my motor functions by walking to and fro.
I am distracting you, numbnuts.
If he wasn't fully aware he was distracting them, he would have said that.
And he goes.
If one of us had asked you to do it.
Yeah. He goes. He looks back. He goes, "This is absolutely fascinating. I've worked on several of the obsidian gods, and this thing here is quite unique." He grabs, he touches like your armor and stuff like that. Your metal plates on there. Do you let him do that? He's kind of like,
as long as their backs are to where my companions are performing their actions, I will even go so far as to show him interesting bits of me compared to the other Warforged I've seen in town.
Yeah,
this is my volume scroller.
I get
louder and quieter.
Yep, the ability to turn my head all the way around, and I tell them with the interesting facts, like I can disable my sense of smell or taste, and I also have a cat named Dog.
The look down, he goes, "I've never seen this before. A machine having another machine as a pet. This is absolute." And the two guards are like, all right, Joe,
come on, you nerds.
Nerd.
He goes, "Is this thing a threat or not, or do we need to escort it away from the premise here?" Because again, he seemed to be suspicious, and the guy's like laughing. He's like almost giddy. You can see like he's like an engineer or he's like an artificer himself. He's like, "It's just absolutely just amazing." I'm sorry. I don't believe this one here is. I mean, it doesn't seem hostile. Make me a.
I am not a threat.
Yeah, make me a persuasion check or a deception check with advantage, because just to see if he can get his friends. See if he can get his friends to walk away.
Maybe even bluff, right?
Nah. Well, how about I roll one of each? It'd be like rolling with advantage, because I have a 0 bonus.
Well, a 17 is enough to convince this guy. Yeah. He goes. No. This one here seems fine. Again, these ones. This is very unique here, but it doesn't seem to be hostile at all. He asks you. He's like, "You're not hostile, correct?"
You may not get this, but I am not the droid you're looking for.
He's not the droid we're looking for. I don't know what this means, but it's actually fascinating.
I don't know what a droid is, but we're not looking for him.
Now, I guess another thing that I would consider, because I'll just say as part of that answer, because in actuality Rolex is carrying a heavy crossbow on his back as well. I am not a threat to anyone, because I am just who I am.
Yeah. He goes. Yeah, exactly. The two guards go, "All right, fine here. Just make sure it's gone before Phineas gets back here from below." And they just turn. That's all you hear, Rolex. They let that out as they step away.
So the only other thing I would want to do then is if they're going to turn away from me back towards perhaps where my companions are still working, I need to know that they are disengaging their activities, or I need to provide further distraction.
Well, again, by this time, you guys have learned what you needed to learn from what the checks were.
Like
So,
as you're talking to the guards, you see all three of us like in the distance, just
yeah. And then
How about the weather?
yeah, Rolex. As you're talking to this individual here, he's kind of like rabbiting on with you, like he's like, "This is amazing." You're looking around, and as you're looking around, trying to piece back these things and like forcing almost flashback images of your head, you do see again several things. There was no roadway here. This extended out as far as green kind of fields and things like that. It looks like the estate was much bigger as far as its land. They didn't build up as much stuff right here. You can, as you're flashing back and forth from present to past, and again, the person who's talking to you does notice that you get a little distracted sometimes, and he is a little curious, but he is more interested in you as a unique construct than anything else. You do see towards the back of the area where the forest was, there was nothing there. The forest entrance was actually cleared off. It looks like there is a tangle of nasty gnarled trees and vines that are all through there. And through there, you can see that there was another building back in that area. You can't really tell what it is because again, you're just kind of getting these images and these glimpses here. But that's what you would see here. The other things that you see as you turn back this way, there are other estates that are down a little ways away from you here. Those things look like they were still there. They seem to be in better shape or maybe remodeled a little bit here, but those seem to be the same. The things back there look to be normal to you, and they really don't interest you as far as what you're trying to kind of discern from your flashbacks. It's these kind of things here that are really kind of pulling on that curiosity and that desire to learn more about where you were from.
So I would relay, for lack of not needing to repeat all that, I'll relay it as Jason mentioned it to the rest of the group. But the other thing that I will relay as I think very important to Rolex is what he heard was, and he'll make sure they're out of earshot of the guards and what have you when it happened. They made a mention of Phineas returning from below.
So
that checks out with what I've heard.
So we've reconvened with Rolex, and the engineer isn't here anymore?
Yeah, by this time, if you guys wanted to reconvene, you guys can head back to a local tavern. There's several places you could go to. It depends on how much money you want to spend in this area.
The dive bar of Hightown.
Yeah, 1 platinum per glass of water.
Make a investigation check to see if you guys can find how the cheapest place, if that's what you're looking for here.
That's what I'm looking for.
You guys get back with me. I'm going to find an armory to maybe enhance my equipment.
Okay. Ophidian does the exact opposite with what he rolled.
I can't lower myself to go to a dive bar.
If he goes to a more expensive place, we'll interrupt him and point him towards the cheaper place.
I just see Ophidian like making a beeline towards it, and everyone kind of grabs him by the shoulders and just nope.
Yeah, unless he's looking for the general goods store and finds the general evils store.
There you go.
General evil.
Okay, so with what was rolled here, Ophidian?
When Ophidian was looking for the dive bar and rolled a 6, Rolex rolled a 28. So was able to steer Ophidian in the right direction.
Yes. Ophidian, but you see the most immaculate, like the most high-class place you've ever seen in this particular.
Just let me walk in, guys. Let me walk in.
There's a cover charge to even walk in.
Just 5 minutes, guys.
Let me smell. Let me waft some of the smell.
Oh!
They charge you per waft.
Yeah, the smell is amazing. But again, luckily Rolex guides you around here. Rolex, you make your way to Danita's Inn. It is a very, very retro-looking tavern, but again, it still has that classy feel to it here. It's like one of those restaurants that's like a themed one that has, going back several years. Looks a little bit more rustic, doesn't keep in with the aesthetic of the current high town area that you're at, but it definitely has the prices that you guys would be more comfortable with here. So yeah, you guys find that easily. Less with what you rolled for finding a place, the best place you probably able to find then would be the place that Ray's went to for his king if you're looking for an armorer.
What a coincidence.
Okay.
Because I rolled to find the dude after hours.
Oh, the guy who's making the equipment after.
Yeah, like I went to go pick up the weapon, and I guess with that roll, just hey, I'm inviting him to dinner.
Yeah, sure.
Very grounded individual, probably knows someplace a bit with humbler pricing.
Sure, absolutely. He basically he tells you, DnDE16 is probably the cheapest place here, but he said if you want to get a place that's not going to cost you a decent amount of coin, it's not in Hightown.
I understand that. I would like to treat you, since you have been the only one in my 2 weeks of searching that can actually accommodate my order.
Yeah, I think that he would be able to do that here. But Les, what are you trying to get? He's again a competent armorer. What do you want him to do?
I'm just trying to see about reinforcing my sword and armor. I saw how well armed and trained that the other guards seem to have been. So if I want to withstand a bit more of a chance, I was thinking I could probably get my stuff upgraded a bit.
Sure. He looks at you and he goes, yeah.
What he means is he feels a little underprepared, or as though he's not quite on the level of the guards here and would be looked down on.
Even though I've said that out loud to the shopkeeper.
We're not suspicious individuals.
Yeah.
If we're going to slaughter all of them, I need to be better prepared.
Well, again, you're going.
Do you happen to have a Vorpal sword?
Yeah, you're going to an armorer here, so he's definitely very keen on making things that are deadly. So he goes, yeah, I can definitely improve your armor and your sword here. I got the equipment. Probably take me a day to do that here. I mean, are you looking for them to be just reinforced, sharpened? Are you looking for them to hit a little bit harder? What are you looking for here, friend?
Well, I just have a basic longsword, but I use a sword and a shield, so I'm kind of looking for something either to replace this with or reinforce it to make it stronger.
Well, reinforce would be definitely the cheapest option for you. If you're wanting to get a brand new set of something now, I can definitely do that for you. But it's going to be a little costly.
I would definitely rather reinforce my blade because I've had this baby for a long time, and it's kind of attached to me.
He goes, all right, I can definitely do this for you.
Or I'm attached to it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I get it. I understand, people's attachment to their weaponry. It's like family sometimes. I could do this here if you want the sword and the shield. I could do it for you about 150 gold.
150 is what you gave us at the very start. I am down. I found my old sheet. I am down to just over 100. So I cannot. I'll just reinforce my sword.
Okay, the sword. Yeah.
Am I there with him, or did I already do my business?
No, yeah. If you want to be there with him, absolutely.
Yeah. I'll kind of nudge Les and kind of shake my coin purse a bit. Shake my coin purse a bit and kind of whisper to him, "We need you to be at your top. I will pay for the rest."
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, Raze.
All right. Yeah. With that, Raze gives you.
I'm giving you. You said you had a little over 100, right?
I have, let's see, minus 41. I have 109.
Okay, then I will pass off 50 to you, because that should still get me dinner with this dude. I only have 108.
I give him all that gold.
Yeah, it's going to take him a day to get that sorted out here. So again, he goes and he starts taking care of that here. Are you guys staying at the inn, at DnDE's inn here? And again, Raze, you can take the person out to dinner there. He knows the place, obviously. If that's
Les is sleeping in the street now since he has no more gold.
Yeah, sleep in the streets of Hightown. That's not going to get you arrested.
Not at all.
Well, yeah, as we're walking to the inn, don't worry, we'll find a trash can to huddle in together. I'm broke too because I'm taking that dude to dinner.
Dumpster man.
Where are you guys wanting to stay for the night?
That's going to entirely depend on how much dinner costs.
So are you eating? Are you eating at the inn? Is that where you're eating?
Since that's the place that he recommended, yes.
Okay. All right. So a decent dinner for 2 people there would be about. Well, I mean, are you buying drinks as well, or are you just buying the food?
If he doesn't have to work tomorrow, then I will absolutely be buying him drinks.
It'd be 25 gold pieces for both of you.
For both, okay.
Yeah.
Pass me some scraps under the table.
Yeah. Every so often, I'll just like I don't know, like half a bowl of stew, a bit of bread, just like behind my back, while the shopkeep is like looking away behind my back, pass it to Les.
More bread, please.
All right.
Yeah, I'll pay the 25.
Okay. Ophidian and Rolex, are you guys staying there as well?
This is why I saved all my money. I knew we were going to go to the rich part of town.
I think because we're in the rich part of town, Rolex would be obliged to stay in a room. Normally, he just hangs out wherever and powers down. But to the point of you don't sleep in the street in Hightown, I think he's aware of that. So, yeah, whatever room. I mean, cheapest room because he doesn't need any luxuries.
Okay. All right.
Do
Ophidian?
you have a closet I can rent out? He insists on renting it out, but he asks if there's like a closet.
Oh, yeah, I'll pay for
I
it.
just sit at the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, how much are rooms here at the
Okay.
at Danita's?
It is 15 gold per night.
Oh, that's not bad.
Do you have an empty?
You could place
I'll
here.
go.
That'll work.
15 GP per night. Okay, so Rays, as you bring this person to dinner here, you guys are sitting at a table, and what are you wanting to do with this person as far as dinner and getting information? As we wrap up this particular episode here, we're going to end with finding out what Rays wants out of this person.
So, what Ray's is trying to do here is, of course, make like small talk and kind of keep it centered around like shop and business. Pull some bullshit story about losing my equal. Yeah. I'll tell him I threw it and I was unable to recover because of some unruly ruffians. Blah blah blah. But mostly, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to warp the conversation into him unknowingly giving me information about Hightown, about the estates in the area, word on the street, because Hightown rumors are different from street rumors.
Yes. Okay. Make me a persuasion check with advantage then. And then
Ow. Oh damn, 12.
Oh.
This guy's on his game. He's known more than a couple of silver tongue demons.
Can I like whisper some better way of phrasing things to Rays as he's talking to him?
I already had advantage.
I'm trying to get you a full advantage here. Don't.
Well,
let me use my inspiration for him.
okay, go ahead. Yes, if you want to pass off your inspiration, go ahead and roll me one more.
Okay, thank
Let's
you.
do it.
Hey,
21.
There we go. 21.
Yes.
With a 21, again, another round gets brought out to the table here, and another tankard gets slung over to your new friend. And as he's about to divulge things, that is where we will end for tonight.
He
And we will
tells
pick
me,
up
"Did you hear about the end of the episode?"
exactly. So with that, again, it's good to be back in the saddle here. Again, I missed you guys, but thank you guys for playing, and we will pick up next week, and hopefully we might have Aster with us.
Yeah, that'd be very cool. I think we'll be able to get Aster on for next week.
Awesome.
Maybe another party planner. Who knows? As far as what
Somebody else who infiltrated the party.
Exactly.
Just the Spider-Man meme of me, Ophidian, and Aster's character just.
Yeah,
Pointing at each
I would
other.
like to get Aster in here because again, hopefully, she can play with us. And if Aster cannot on Thursdays, I might be able to move things around from Thursdays to Wednesdays so that we can have them on for that particular one. But anyways, for the time being, we will say good night. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, we can wrap this one up.
Later.
The preceding podcast was brought to you by One Joe Young. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com.
You ready, Randy?
Hey, Happy New Year, guys. Hope it's not a train wreck like the first episodes. Because we had a train wreck.
I thought you were talking about how Eli's attempt to get on the train.
Oh yeah.
That would have been my
Both our interactions
off
with
for
the
the
train have been
first
wrecks.
half.
Yes.
Indeed.